everyone, welcome to this week's video. The last video I mentioned that I had 4 videos that I wanted to share with you guys. I've thought of 2 more. This is one of them and they're really spicy, so let's get into it. I feel like the best place to start is with the actual breakup itself. Him and I used substances together, and he had threatened to unalive me if I left him. Once he was in jail, I got myself clean, and I found out that he was eventually going to prison in another state. He was not being released here, and I felt that was the best time to tell him that it was over and for me to feel safe about it, because he threatened to unalive me if I ever left him. And he completely invalidated every reason that I had for leaving him by telling me that it would be okay, we would make it, this, that, and everything. And I was just like, no. This is where it stands. And asked if we could still be friends, and I said maybe someday, but right now that's definitely not gonna happen. And ended the phone call. I didn't hear from him for a long time until he was in this other state, and the first couple calls I got from him were from the state prison that he was in, and it was, the computerized beginning of the phone call. And then I started getting phone calls from him that were a regular phone call, and I could still hear prison in the background. Because if you've ever talked to anybody in there, if you've ever visited there, if you've ever watched a TV show where they're filming in a prison, you know that prison has this sound. It's like a million people are talking all at once, and it's just loud, and it's voices, and it's kind of like a roar, I guess is the best way to describe it. But I could hear this. I could hear the intercom system saying stuff, and I knew that he was still located where he was prior. And I kept telling him, I don't want to talk to you. I've already explained this. We are done. We are over. If I ever talk to you again, it's going to be a long time from now. Stop calling me. And the calls continued. And one day, I just was sick of it. I was over it. And he called, and I told him, stop calling me. And I hung up. Phone rings again. I pick it up. I hang it up. Rings again. And I answer, and I put it to my ear, and I said, hello. And I get a, why won't you talk to me? Because I don't want to talk to you. Stop calling me. I know that you are using a cell phone in prison, and you are not supposed to have a cell phone in prison. If you do not stop calling me, I will go to our local county sheriff department and tell them where you are, who you are, and you are calling me from a cell phone, and I will give them every single number that you have called me from since you've been at this location. Oh, go ahead. They'll never find these phones. Couple days go by. Actually, I don't get any phone calls, and I think this works. I know that you are not supposed to have cell phones in prison. They're contraband. Maybe he thought that I was serious about, which I wasn't. I was just trying to get him to stop calling me. Well, he called me out of my bluff because I had just started a new job, and I answered the phone in the back in front of my boss, and my phone was damaged by water, and sometimes it would go on speakerphone. And this phone call answered on speakerphone in front of my boss, him cussing me out and chewing me out, and why won't I talk to him, and I'm just every name of the book. And like I said, prison has a sound, and he knew that that's where this phone call was coming from. After I got off the phone, what was that about? Gave him the whole rundown. Well, he's from this state, from this particular city where this facility is. It says, I can make these phone calls stop. That is legitimately all I heard was, I can make these phone calls stop. Give me every phone number that you've ever gotten from that area code. Give them to me. Give me his name. And I can make it stop. I didn't even think anything about it. All I thought was, okay, it's going to stop. He said I can make this stop. That's all I heard. A couple days later, I get a phone call. He had left work and I was working into the evening, and it was a little update. They had shaken down the entire prison. They had searched almost everybody in his little circle because, as it turns out, he had joined a prison club. And everybody that was associated with them, they searched a lot of people. They walked around calling those phone numbers, and nothing was found within that group of club members. And a couple days later, I start getting phone calls from these numbers again, and he's, why won't you talk to me? I want to talk to you. I want to try to make things right, and I don't want to talk to you. But he was right. They did not find those phones. I don't know if they were off, shoved in a wall, like you saw in Orange is the New Black in the bathroom, or if they had them shut off and in the back pocket. And that's how those phones were never found. But he knew they weren't going to be found, and they weren't. I don't feel bad that they were searched. I told him that I was going to call our county sheriff, and I don't feel bad because he didn't care that I was going to do that. Did I mean for it to happen? No. Because like I said, all I heard was I can make it stop. And I skipped a very important part. My boss's sibling was a prison warden. And that's how it got as far as it did. But nothing ever happened of it. Did I feel bad? No. Did I feel scared for a little bit? Because he did join the prison club. Yeah, for a little bit. But I did remind myself. I did tell him that I was going to do this. Even though it played out very differently in the end. And it really wasn't my intention. But I ended up having to change my number to lose contact with him. When he got out, he started sending me messages on Facebook, and I was just, I'm not ready. Honestly, I don't think I'll ever be. It was just a whole bad situation, bad relationship, and I don't want to talk to him. I don't want nothing to do with him. And that's what it is. But that is pretty much the story of how I accidentally doxed my ex while he was in prison. Sounds a lot worse than it actually is. But I thought that was a little spicy story I could share with you guys. And the additional one I thought of, I'm going to do next. I hope you guys enjoyed. I really don't have a schedule right now. I'm just going to do a video every week. It's not going to be the same day. So make sure you are subscribed and you hit the bell if you want to see more. And I will see you next time. Bye.